Hey, this is a follow-up to a follow-up video where recently I made a video on the BRIGHTCORE Huskbuster versus the Sunbeam Huskbuster, and that honestly impressed me. I'll spoil it now. I now honestly believe that BRIGHTCORE is the better option for that weapon. This all spawned from the original video that I was following up from, the Xenon Bow BRIGHTCORE versus Sunbeam. That introduced the concept of break points and what really matters when you're doing damage, and how Sunbeam is definitely the higher damage output on paper. There's no discussion there. But because you're doing so much damage per shot, on average, the BRIGHTCORE copy spent about as much time killing enemies as the Sunbeam copy did. It always killed in the same amount of shots, assuming you crit. If you don't crit, things vary a lot, but that's true for Sunbeam anyway. But with BRIGHTCORE, you're shooting 10% faster, and you have more durability. That 10% faster means you can follow up another shot and end up killing them actually quicker than Sunbeam in most cases, and that extra durability means it just lasts longer and it's more cost-effective for a newer player. The exact same thing happens here. With the shotguns here, we're doing so much damage that the amount of crits, I want to say crits, because if you're not critting, it's not really a very helpful test, but the amount of crits it takes to kill an enemy is basically the same. In my Huskbuster video, the Sunbeam copy was 2-hit critting 250 power level zappy faces and takers, and so was the BRIGHTCORE copy. I wasn't able to fully test the Smasher, but we were 5-hit critting it with the Sunbeam copy, and that seemed very close to the truth for the BRIGHTCORE copy. So because we were killing in the same amount of shots, that extra fire rate made the BRIGHTCORE copy just better. It was amazing to enjoy, and I'm doing it again with the Ground Pounder because these two shotguns are hand in hand. The Huskbuster is a slow-firing, much higher damage weapon, which means it's much more ammo efficient for taking out those bigger targets, and the Ground Pounder shoots faster while doing less damage per shot. That does mean that there's similar DPS, but the Ground Pounder is a lot better for crowd clearing and killing stuff quick, and the Huskbuster is a lot better for those bigger targets. Typically, I'd recommend these weapons be used together. I've made videos on them in parallel forever. I got the video on the Ground Pounder doing 3 million DPS. I got the Huskbuster killing Smashers and deleting them off the map. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Ground Pounder, Sunbeam versus BRIGHTCORE. I'm going to be starting with a Sunbeam copy. This video will have a pink background for the Sunbeam section, and then I'll change it to orange when we switch. But here's the loadout we're using. Same exact loadout as a Huskbuster video. Buckshot in the lead, do all the damage. Totally rocking out Battle Beat and Fumble just to get it active. Shell Shock to do some extra shotgun damage, because of course. And then we've got Chaos Agent support so that we can reload quickly with a grenade or a Shockwave. Shockwave's not really doing any damage right now in our current update, but it doesn't really matter. And then Lock to reload it so we can do some extra damage. It's a pretty basic shotgun loadout, so let's hop in game and check it out. All right, first game with the Sunbeam copy. Got a whole big crowd of enemies. I think nobody will be surprised here to see enemies dying really quickly. It is, of course, the Ground Pounder shotgun. I have raved about this weapon to no end on my channel for a very good reason. So let's find a bigger target and see how it does. All right, quick little test against a Taker. It's, yeah, would have died in two crits. That's not surprising at all. All right, Anna's got a Samshi on her. Let's see how we do. Honestly, 9 shots, pretty bad. But like I said in the intro of this video, sometimes you don't crit, and that's just kind of how it goes running a crit build. We're probably going to need to test a lot more to get a good number. All right, we got one more Samshi before we get to the... That's pretty much what I was looking for. It looks like our number for 160s is about 4 crits to kill. That's about what I expected. Probably 3 if you just wait for Affliction to finish it off. I'm going to start the defense and get some higher level targets going. All right, the defense begins. I got a few electric fields down just to activate Battle Beat. Similar to the Huskbuster video, if you guys saw it, we are pretty much only interested in the big targets. I want to be hitting some crits. I want to see how fast we can kill and how this compares. You know, right now we're just getting a baseline. We're just seeing how the Sunbeam copy performs at 130 with this team and loadout, and then we'll be switching to the BRIGHTCORE copy and see how it compares. All right, we have a nice little mist monster, unattacked. Unattacked by the... Wow, yeah, that's about it. So it looks like that would have been maybe 2 crits and then kill. I know the copy we're using here, this weapon, is a little bit weaker than the Huskbuster, but yeah, it looks like 2 crits to kill is pretty solid. That's one where, like, the Ground Pounder is kind of better than the Huskbuster. Comparing these weapons is so tough, and not the point of today's video, but I think it's worth mentioning that, like, this weapon can kill in 2 shots while shooting faster than the Huskbuster, but it's got less ammo, you're shooting quicker, and it does have less overall damage, which means against bigger targets like a Smasher, I don't think we're going to be able to kill it in 5 crits like the Huskbuster, but maybe I'm wrong. And against mini bosses, for sure, that extra health will definitely favor the Huskbuster, but I don't know. There's a lot to consider there. So when people ask me to compare these weapons, it's so tough. All right, more zappy faces. I think we've pretty much seen what we need to see. At this point, I'm just enjoying the show. They're all dying so fast. There's nothing to even talk about. All right, it's not the smash I was hoping for, but let's see how a Flinger does after getting chipped by a Xenon Bow. That was really unlucky on the crits, but probably would have died in 2 shots all the same, as I'm pretty sure Flingers have the not the exact same health as a Zappy Face, but they have the same health as a Taker, which is only slightly less than the Zappy Face. I think Flingers have, Archie, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Flingers are about 1.3 million health at 160s, and the Zappy Faces are 1.6. And it looks like we're...
pull that up right now.
That sounds accurate to me, but I believe the crits from this weapon is about 1 million, so it's going to two-shot them either way. Might as well get this number for the Smasher as well. We can just figure this out with math.
So you want Smashers have 4.8 million health.
5 hits crits. There we go.
Flingers have 1.2 million health.
Oh.
Takers have 1.2 million health. And
yeah, they're
Blasters have 1.6 million health.
There we go. All right, I was off by 0.1. Well, I'm glad we checked. Now we know. So it looks like I'm going to be able to kill with a crit. I haven't actually looked at the exact number. It should be about 5 hits to kill with crits. Let's see what we can get against this guy over here. No battle beat active, but we are critting for, yeah, easy 1 million. So should be able to kill a Smasher in 5 hits. And then when we switch to the BRIGHTCORE copy, we'll know for sure. We got a mini-boss that I can actually interact with? Okay, it's fire versus fire, but I'll take it. I'll take it. How much health does this one have, Archer? Let me know.
Husky mini-bosses in 160s have 32.2 million health.
32 million. So I'll kill it in 32 crits, which is, well, actually probably less because I have I have the 67% damage being fire versus fire, but this is still killing really quick. Like, this is why Chaos Agent is so amazing. I've said it in past videos that Chaos Agent actually increases the damage output by 80%. Now, you're not literally doing more damage, but without stopping to reload, you are doing so much more damage. Without having to stop for 5 seconds to get all my shells back, it's just a constant damage output. And even though, spoiler alert to those who haven't seen the first video, all of the mini-bosses from the Huskbuster video were unkillable by the Huskbuster, just smokescreen and trap vulnerable. That is a similar experience to how the Huskbuster would have gone, just shooting slower and doing more damage and reloading less often, because it has 14 shots in the mag instead of 12. But it looks like we finally got Smashers spawning. Hopefully I can get one that I can actually kill before it hits the traps, because I really want to see how this performs. Well, we got unlucky and no Smasher spawn, but we definitely saw what we needed to see. Let's switch to the BRIGHTCORE copy and see how it compares. All right, BRIGHTCORE copy time. As indicated by the light behind me, let's see. How hard are we critting, actually? That's the number I want to see, 800,000. So that should be killing a Smasher in 6 hits, right? Because it's 4.8 million. So that's actually an interesting difference, because with the Huskbuster, is killing the same amount of shots, but with the BRIGHTCORE copy, if we're going to be killing in 1 more shot, that's kind of a big deal. We're shooting faster, so it shouldn't generally matter. And how often are you critting on every single hit? I think Affliction will pick up a lot of that slack. So again, on paper, we're killing it slower, but in reality, it might never matter. Oh man, another Smasher. 2-in-1 game, I feel so spoiled. So this is what I'm talking about, where I'm talking about killing it in 6 crits, but in reality, you're gonna shoot it a lot more than that, because without totally rocking out active, I'm not gonna be critting that much. Okay, I guess we just got all the Smashers in this game. This is beautiful. But look at that. That's so much anyway, and we're reloading more often, shooting faster, of course, but killing so quick that I'm not even mad. Let's get the defense going. That's plenty. Okay, the defense begins. Got my Synelectric Fields down just to get Battle Beat active so we can do that. So, yeah, easy kill. All right, we got another target. I see it right up here. Let's see, totally rocking out active, killing it pretty quick. And once again, no crits. That's unlucky, and it's dead very, very fast. So I want to get some bigger targets, because this is where, this is where it matters. This is where I want to see, can you tell if this is BRIGHTCORE or not? With totally rocking out active, it's going to skew things a little bit, because it just makes the damage insane, but I wanted to test this at the highest damage possible, and so far, it's hard to tell. It's shooting faster, that's for sure, but the Ground Pounder always shoots it already shoots 4 times per second. Most people in normal play probably aren't clicking that fast. Like, you don't really shoot literally 4 shots per second, but that kill time that you just saw right there with a little grenade and 2 crits, that is so fast that I wouldn't even notice. And I think having to craft less of these will be a better bonus, not visible in this game, but better over time. Was that me or a teammate? I don't honestly know. I want to get all the damage myself just to compare, but holy crap, that is some impressive kill time. You get those crits in there and it just doesn't even matter. Holy moly. I want to double check this is a BRIGHTCORE copy. It was performing so well that I'm literally double checking that this is in fact the BRIGHTCORE copy. That's a good sign. You know, in the midst of trying to wait for big targets to kill, I'm just kind of slaying stuff with a Ground Pounder. This weapon is insane. Did you guys know that? Have I said that 40 times in this video yet? Like, it kills everything so quick with ease, you know, throwing a shockwave for some fast reloading, and then suddenly everything's just kind of dead. You wouldn't even know. That's what I really like to gun for in this video, the Huskbuster video. Any weapon where it really doesn't matter with the amount of damage you're doing. You wouldn't even know that this is BRIGHTCORE. That's really the crux of this video and potentially a series. As I'm recording this, it's not really a series on the channel. We've done Huskbuster, now Ground Pounder, and the Xenon Bow. But like with some weapons, they're already doing so much that BRIGHTCORE, Sunbeam, honestly, I'm not really observing a difference here. Oh no, a bunch of big targets. Let's clean them out. Try to aim accurately. I always try to start with the big targets, actually. That's kind of important. I'm fumbling over my keys, by the way. I think I don't have a grenade charge. That's what messed me up. But I try to prioritize the big targets, because if you shoot them once, move on, Affliction can clear them out, and then everything just kind of dies. That's really what you want to do with these weapons. Oh yeah, reload in advance, getting prepared. Chaos Agent isn't always available, because grenades and shockwaves don't come back very, very fast. There are many times where you are left without an ability to reload instantly, but it doesn't really matter. It kills everything so quick, you kind of just wait in between, reload naturally, and that's actually why I run mag size on this, because it's the same time to reload per shell as reload. So like the actual reload perk reloads like 1/100th of a second faster and leaves you with a lot less ammo in the magazine. So you can shoot for a lot longer before you have to stop and reload. It's much better to use mag size. It's just it's a direct upgrade. Hey, we got another fire mini boss with the same modifiers. Let's go crazy. So this is how I recommend using Chaos Agent, by the way. I didn't do this before, but I recommend starting with a war cry just to boost your damage and to reload instantly, and then you just keep shooting it like that, assuming you don't die. I was going to exhaust that magazine, pop an adrenaline rush, then throw a grenade. I probably should have healed her sooner, because it wouldn't even have slowed down my rate of fire. But you can see reloading instantly with Chaos Agent, not necessarily technically instantly, but reloading a lot faster with Chaos Agent just gets you right back to the fight, and assuming you don't get sucked into a mini boss, you survive to do a lot more damage. All right, back into the fight. Here we go. Nurses and shielders are just the bane of my existence. I'm going to take them out first, try to be a little smart about it. I honestly thought that was the nurse, and it was actually the mini boss I was shooting. Nurses do heal mini bosses, by the way. You're probably not going to notice it if you're using an ultra high damage weapon like this, but it does actually make a little bit of a difference, so you want to be careful. And I put all this healing over here specifically for the mini boss, only for it to just walk right through all of it. So I tried to plan ahead, and it did not work out. It doesn't seem to have mattered. Wait, did he despawn right as I killed it? What was that? It wasn't even wave 13 yet. That wasn't 1 minute. Ref, can we get a ref? I'm mad about it. This is just a disappointment. But honestly, I think we've seen what we need to see. I'm gonna do a bit of an early outro because I'm satisfied with these results. The BRIGHTCORE copy seems to be almost as good. We are critting a smasher 1 extra time to kill, but as demonstrated, you know, not just sharing with you guys, but I love these live recordings because as demonstrated, you're not really critting 5 times in a row more often than not anyway. With an extra hit in there, with an extra crit, a little headshot, maybe some affliction damage, it's pretty much dying at the same time as you would kill it with like a Sunbeam copy, if not faster, because of that 10% fire rate from BRIGHTCORE. Granted, you are reloading more often. I think Huskbuster BRIGHTCORE is clearly better. It's a direct upgrade. Ground Pounder, you have to reload so often that I might continue to recommend the Sunbeam copy. Depending on how many resources you have, that could change my opinion. I'm an endgame player with effectively unlimited resources, so for me, it makes sense to just keep using Sunbeam. But if you're a newer level player who has so many Sunbeam copy weapons because Beast and every other YouTuber ever keeps recommending Sunbeam constantly, then maybe a BRIGHTCORE Ground Pounder might make sense for you. If it's between this or the Huskbuster, I'd recommend a BRIGHTCORE Huskbuster, Sunbeam Ground Pounder. I think that would balance things out. But as you can see, not just here, but like as you can see, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. So if you're somebody who's already stuck with a BRIGHTCORE copy, maybe you're just fine. I don't know. I'm pleasantly surprised that it's not nearly as close as I always thought. It's really, really cool to see viable weapons with BRIGHTCORE, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, Twitch link down below. I'll see you in the next one, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. And then